Alright, down to the depths we go. So there's quite a lot of these little buggers around here, and they'll try and ambush you. I think seeing as I've not got many soul arrows left, I might just try and use the catalyst like a spear for a little bit. Just on a few of them, just to sort of eke out what I've got left until I get to a bonfire. If you come down here with lots of arrows, it's quite easy to just snipe them from the windows along this gallery. That's quite a nice thing to do, but you can also just sort of entice them in, like one or two at a time, and deal with them that way. And that's not too bad either. Come on then. And pleasantly enough, this is just doing like a one-hit kill, which is rather good. This is why I like the tin banishment catalyst. Like, you can use it as a really nice spear as well as your sorcery gubbins. So yeah. I do find in some ways that is like a downside with Dark Souls. Like, if you find a weapon that you find is just a really good all-rounder, then you don't really use anything else, and that, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily spoil the game, but it does sort of mean that you just try less stuff once you sort of get into your comfort zone, as it were. And yeah, so that's not ideal, but never mind. Right then, let's see if we can just shoot the dog. Right, and shoot the butcher. Here he comes. Should be another one and he'll be dead. He is actually quite tough, like if you come down here fairly early on and you're doing melee and stuff, he takes a bit of dealing with. Got a nice ember there in the chest. I sort of found this in like Dark Souls 2, where I found that the I think it's the fire longsword and the mace were just really nice for just like the whole game, because the mace was just really nice damage against like pretty much everyone, but it was extra good for like armored enemies, so you could just switch between that and then maybe use the fire longsword a bit for like these kind of guys, like lighter armored things and stuff that's vulnerable to fire. So that was a really nice combo. And in this, I mean, like the tin banishment catalyst is just like excellent. You just don't need anything else really. At least I haven't found. So, oh hello. Fuck, he made me jump. I was just wondering then, where was he? And he's just dropped down and he's having a go. There we go. Yeah, there's two of them. This guy actually hides up on a pillar. I can't remember where exactly. I think it's sort of up there or something, and then he'll drop down and have a go at you when you come up. Right, now up here there should be a pyromancy dude in a barrel.
Yes, you. Here, over here.
There he is. What up, dude?
Thank you. I would have been a supper without you. Being eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, or the Great Spawn. I will not forget my debt to you.
Okay, so...
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Right, I think that's it, and we just wait for him to turn up at Firelink now.
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Yeah, there we go. So I don't know if I'm actually going to use much in the way of pyromancy. I might get the flame and things off him, but I think I'll just focus on sorcery for the time being. And see how that goes. Don't think we're far from the bonfire now. Right. Now, that is a trap. If you I'm not sure if you can see really, but up on the ceiling there is like a little slime blob, and he will try and drop on you. Ah, good, there we go. The slime blobs are actually quite tough if you're just trying to hit them. If you've got something with fire on it, or like fire bombs or pyromancy, they're pretty weak to that and they die quite easily, which is nice. But otherwise they're quite not really like a major problem, but they're annoying and they take a bit of killing, and it's quite easy to get sort of surrounded by them and have them shit. Just sort of stab you while other things are having a go. They also do that nasty drop attack if you are unlucky enough to be right underneath them. Right, let's just get our Estus up and then we can shoot a couple of these guys. Now the bonfire is right by the door that that dude with the torch is guarding, so we can afford to just use up our spells now. But even being quite tough, they're just getting toasted with the heavy soul arrow now, so that's fine. Yeah, we're out of that one. Soul mass then. Oh, a little bit left. Bye bye, lob. Right. Hello, dude. Goodbye, dude. Okay, so we'll be going down there shortly, but first we need to get to the bonfire. This is another point where having the master key is very handy. Now, I'm not sure if I've actually done this yet, but at least on camera. So I've got 2 humanity on the health bar. I'm going to use one of them to reverse hollowing, so I'll become human. And then once I've done that, I'm going to use the other humanity, at number 1, to kindle the bonfire, which means I'll have 10 Estus flasks from this bonfire instead of 5. And seeing as we'll be doing a boss at some point in this area, it's sort of good to have plenty of Estus, not to mention the fact that there's, you know, assorted monsters and things which we need to deal with. So yeah. Right, so we go down here. Right, now there's a little area down here which we can't open from this side, but hopefully later on we'll be opening that door and dealing with that big bastard. Right, so let's head into the sewers. There's quite a lot of little ratties. These actually aren't too tough. They can mob you though, so... Oh, and they'll do poison damage as well, which is worth keeping a little bit of distance from and things like that. There's also a few in boxes which will jump out at you. I think one of them's here. Just shield up as we get close. There we go. Didn't do him much good. Right, and this one basically wants us to chase him. Oh, maybe not. Sometimes he'll run down there and there's a bunch more rats which will jump out at you, or just sort of mob you if you're getting close. They can be quite sort of scared as well and just not really do very much to you, which can be useful, but they can attack as well, so... temperamental things. So we've got a sewer key. Not entirely sure what that is. That might be for the bonfire room, but I could be wrong. Okay, the fog clears and... Right. Okay, good. Now, this guy is another channeler, and we want to get rid of him. Alright, so the channeler's dead, but we've still got 3 of these rats to deal with. And as I just discovered, well, I sort of knew already, but as I was reminded of, they can mob you like crazy. But you can also just massacre them if you're careful with it. Now there's a rat in here, at least one. Come on, ratty. There he is. Yep, another one. Okay. Don't think there's one in here. Nope. Okay. And what we got here, we got some more Titanite. So now we're just trying to get our way down to that area. And I think there may be a faster route. Now, normally I'd go that way, but I think we can actually come back up the way we came and sort of drop down on the left, possibly. Right, so this is where the rats were jumping out of barrels. Now, I think we can jump down there. So let's see what happens when we do that. Right, now there should be a bunch of these guys. Yep. Lots of, whatever they are. Basilisks or something. So I think this is a bit... Oops. Eye of Death. Yes. So I think this is a bit closer to where we need to be for the boss fight, but there should be some more of those little guys, and they'll shoot... I can't remember if it's Curse. I think it's Curse. Sort of gas at you, which is something you want to be away from. Okay, a few more rats. Hey, buddy. Oi! Have a taste of the pointy end. Right. I think there should be an invader around here soon as well. Yeah, these rats are a little bit tougher. They're taking like 2 jabs to deal with. Right. Okay, yes, this is where I want to be. Now then. So we'll just run a bit of a zigzag and hope we don't get blobbed on. Right. So this is the gate to Blighttown. If you didn't go through the Valley of the Drakes like I did, then you'd be entering Blighttown from here, which we haven't got the key for yet, but we'll pick it up from the boss that we're going to deal with. Now, sometimes around here there is an NPC who sells some stuff, but he doesn't seem to be here now. I think he's a bit temperamental. I'm not sure exactly what causes him to be there and what causes him to be somewhere else, but yeah, evidently he's not here right now. Yes, so this is the way down to the boss fight. We just sort of head along this area and we go down. But before I do that, what I'd like to do is open up a shortcut. Partly just to show where it is and partly to just have a bit of sort of like a backup plan or whatever, like insurance in case I end up dying the first time I try this. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, here we are. Yes, this is the bit. Now I think this should be that door that we had a look at earlier that's one-sided. Yes, there we go. So now we can just go back to the bonfire. Get ourselves all nicely renewed. And then we can have a go at this boss. And I think we'll just have a quick look and see if I can level up with the few souls I've got now. Oh yes. Maybe twice. Yes, good. Okay, 45. Happy with that. Right. So back down to the well, the overview for the boss fight. Okay, so here we are again. And we just need to work our way down to that fog gate. There shouldn't really be anything around here, I don't think, to cause any problems. Yeah, there we go. So one fog gate. If you have your humanity on and you want to do it, you can summon Solaire at this point, but I'm not going to. So this freaky ass thing is the Gaping Dragon. And it's basically the same sort of thing that we were doing with the other bosses. You basically just try and keep out of range, and you shoot it in the arse or like the nearest approximation. Now it's got what it just did there, which is a sort of a sort of like bulldozer attack, where it'll just smack its freaky mouth thing in the ground and it'll just sort of roll forward. Now it's also got some nasty swiping attacks, and I think it can hit you with its tail. It will jump on you. It can vomit like poison mucus, but now it's dead, so we needn't worry about that. And there we go. See, we've got the Blighttown Key now. That opens up those big doors that I was just demonstrating. And we've got a few goodies down there, which we're probably never going to use. And off we go. I'm not sure if that door on the left does anything. I think that's just scenery. Yeah, that's just scenery. So yeah, just back to the bonfire now. Okay, so here we are back at the bonfire. So we're just going to use whatever we can to level up. I'm now at 48 intelligence. Like the effect of leveling up seems to sort of drop off once you hit 50. So once I get to 50 intelligence, I'm just going to start putting up things like vitality and endurance, because they're good to have. Like more health, more endurance, that's always good. Maybe a bit of strength, that kind of thing. Oh, and I also want to... actually, I probably shouldn't have done what I just did. Yeah, I'm stuck with it now. But, yeah. It would have been good to up our attunement as well. But never mind. Come to think of it, I did actually want to use the Gaping Dragon Souls for buying some spells. That's a little bit of a bugger. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is rescue a Sorcery Npc, another one, and in order to do that we're going back to where we fought the Iron Boar, and we need to get a key in order to save him, so we'll be doing that next. Okay, so this is the bonfire that is just under the area where the dragon is supposed to attack you. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to pop to a merchant in this area, and we're going to buy a key which should open up the NPC that we're trying to get hold of. Now, I'm not 100% certain if it's this key or if it's another one that we find in the area by the Iron Boar. I have a suspicion it's this one, so we're just going to go and get hold of it and see if it does actually do what I want. And if not, then we take a detour to the boar. So this is the merchant.
Oh, there you are. Where have you been hiding? I guessed you'd hop the twig for certain. Bah, shows what I know.
So he's an obnoxious little prick, but if you buy the residence key, I think that's what we want. So now what we want to do is go back to the area where we fought the assassins and the dog. On our way to the Capra Demon boss fight, and the NPC should be there. Okay, so here we are. This is where we fought the dogs, and the NPCs should be in one of these houses. Here, I think. Yes, it was the residence key after all, not the one by the boar. So this is the dude.
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels.
Smashing.
Oh, hello. I'm fine. I will rest a while, then return to Firelink Shrine. I have my sorcery, and I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
Good for you.
Oh, hello. I have my sorcery. Besides, I have...
Yeah, that's it. So basically now we just head back to Firelink Shrine and he should be there. But we might just take a bit of a detour and get some more souls on the way. Okay, so here we are back in Firelink Shrine and we have 40,000 souls. We are going to buy the Soul Spear from Logan. I basically just sort of wandered around for a bit before I came back here and picked up the rest of the souls. I also used up the Soul of Quelaag and the Soul of the Moonlight Butterfly to get that many. Now you could have used the Soul of the Gaping Dragon, but I sort of leveled up instead, which I shouldn't really have done. But there we go. So let's buy a spear.
Hello there. What have you been up to? I thought that perhaps you'd gone hollow on me. So have you come to further your study of sorcery?
Yes, I have, and I want to buy this, which is the Soul Spear. I think you only get 4 shots, I think, but they're pretty powerful, so they're good to have. I would like the Great Soul Arrow and the Great Heavy Soul Arrow as well, but I'm just going to have to cope without.
For the time being. Speak to me again to further your knowledge.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested?
Yes, I am.
Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away.
Now, at some point, Logan decides to go walkabout, so it's quite nice to have this guy here if you want to buy sorceries later on. I think he basically just sells you the same stuff, possibly a couple of different things. And there's a couple of rings you want to buy off him. Basically, Bellowing Dragon Crest ring is the one we want most of all. The Lingering one, it's not that important. We need another 20,000 souls for that. That boosts your sorceries as well, so that and the Crown of Dusk are a pretty good combination.
You stay safe.
Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the Undead Asylum. Alright, so you want to get into the lift, preferably on this side, and as the ledge comes up, you jump off. And then we want to go down and around here, and we want to end up on that sort of buttress. And then you just walk along it and into the tower. And the purpose of this is to get onto the top of this building and grab that goodie, which is one of the keys to the Undead Asylum. And so the next thing to do, or maybe just pick that up while we're here. Right, the next thing to do is go all the way back up there again. Okay, so here we are again. Now this time, instead of jumping off the tower, what we do is go to the very top. And we want to climb into the bird's nest, and that will transport us back to the Undead Asylum.